right? Okay. The project that you're about to put out, right? That's sort of that's based on the essence of our unique blackness, right?
Yes.
Is there features on there?
I don't think I'm gonna have any features on it. It's just 5 songs. I went to New Orleans and I met with my guy B Mike. Shout out to him. He rented a warehouse. The warehouse is huge. And he has like 30 feet tall paintings of like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey. He built a middle passage boat in this warehouse. He has all different types of black people. Gil Scott Heron, James Baldwin, and this is what inspires. I'm inspired by what I see. This conversation could end up in a rap. That's how I live my life. I live my life as, in terms of my music, whatever I experience, I try to put it into my music.
So that was spontaneous.
It was spontaneous. I had no plans on doing a project like that. And that was in January. I took my wife down to New Orleans. We met with my homie, and I was like, I'm gonna write this project, an EP. He was like, let's put it out in February for Black History Month. I said, no, because Black History Month is February. We need to celebrate our people all year round. So I'm gonna put it out in March. That way people will still be refreshed of what's going on. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do.
Will you be giving it out as a free project?
The beautiful thing about iTunes and Google Play, if you subscribe to it, you can listen to this music for free, and I get paid for it. So I'm gonna put it out for sale, and people could buy it. And if you have a streaming service, which most people should have, you can listen to it for free. I don't believe in. I don't personally believe anymore in putting stuff on DatPiff or things like that. And shout out to them. I love them. But I got a family to take care of, like a lot of artists do. You know
well, I think the good thing about, and I'm strategically asking these questions or whatever, because once again, you get to a point, right? You get to a stage in life where, okay, I did that. I'm not knocking it because it's still a great vehicle for individuals that need to get their music out there. But I'm at a stage where, once again, I love it, but I know that there's a worth to it.
Well, I put out 15 mixtapes for free. From 2006 to 2016, I put out 15 mixtapes for free. All the studio time I paid for, all of the times I had to pay for people to get on records if I needed a bigger artist to get on a record, and I never really benefited from it. Last year I decided I'm putting every mixtape out on iTunes. Now mind you, I sampled Pharrell for my NERD project. I sampled old school beats. I sampled Daft Punk. I sampled mad people. And I said, I don't care. I'm gonna just put it out. And if they want to take it down, send me the cease and desist order and it'll get taken down. But ever since I put all of that stuff out, nothing's been taken down, and I've been getting some really, really good money from it because people are listening to the new album and like, yo, who is this? And then they go back.
Strategic, but it was a strategic move.
And that's, you know, that's the way to do it. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with it. It's free expression.
Well, but see, once again, what you're doing is you're still providing, right, a level, of education, But the fear, will keep you back.
You see what I'm saying? And the projects is still on DatPiff. You can go listen to them there. But for the people that are, for the communities that are on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes Music, Apple Music, Google Play streaming services music, Xbox Music, PS4 Music, they can hear this music.
I want to rewind this, man. There's a lot of artists, man, you know, that have experienced, their highs and lows, and you went from highs, you went here, you went there, you went there, But it's 2017 and you're still managing a level of going on tours, man. How has that been, man? How has the response, Because now when you go on these tours, you're you're performing to a crowd.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, of course, there's days when you have bad shows, and days you have good shows. So I did a 5-city tour last week. Chicago, we had about 150 people in there.
Still a good,
I was happy with that. I'm happy with that. St. Louis, we had about 150 people in there. Now, St. Louis don't really get hip-hop people out, but the fact that I had that many people come out in St. Louis was incredible.
Right, right.
We did Canton, Ohio. Canton, Ohio, I had about 30 people come out.
It happens.
It happens.
And he's saying it on camera. You dig what I'm saying?
30 people came out in Canton, but I loved it. Then me and Styles had a show with 8 days promo, me and Styles. We had a show in Columbus, Ohio, and we had about maybe 75 people come out. So for me, I look at it like, with enough promo and my fan base, I can bring out people in every city because I'm not delegated to just this type of sound or this type of music. I'm doing music for all types of people, and my fans are scattered all over the place. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge artist that could pack 1,000 people in every city, but to know people in every city come out, no matter what city I go to, that's all I need. You know what I mean? And
that kind of reminds me of, like, you know, what Hoff was saying. You know, like you love it, right? So once again, you're far beyond that point of second guessing yourself, right?
Right.
Because now you're putting this music out. Listen, I go to a state that I've never been in my highs, major highs. I go there now. If I get 25, right, that has resurrected me. That has gave me another following, right? Those people are now going online. Man, I really never knew about them, but now I know about them. You dig what I'm saying? There's a continuum. There's a continuum, right? But that keeps you there.
And the promoters got to do their jobs as well.
Right, but see, peep game. What you do show, right? What I'm finding that, especially with artists, right, that feel that they've been there, right? They still can't even get on tour or sort of get a tour going.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I look at you Factz, I'm like, damn, the dude is still doing, right? Surfacely, right? People are saying when you hear tour, right? Oh, this motherfucker's on tour.
Right. But they're not seeing it. And
right.
Sometimes I don't like to even show like the crowds because it's like they be packed and then sometimes they be empty. But I don't want to be one of those guys that just lives off perception. Right. Now me and Terrell, we broke bread. Right. He came to my New York show. I wanted him to help me promote it. How was the crowd there?
Oh, that was a good crowd.
We had a great crowd.
Yeah, that Webster Hall joint was
beautiful.
That was a beautiful crowd.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, you know, I could have took a picture and be like, look how crazy it is here. I don't believe in stuff like that.
Right.
I believe in the experience of what you come to and see, and that's it. You know what I mean?
But I think now at this point, people are seeing a consistency.
Right.
There's no hiatus. You dig what I'm saying?
No hiatus.
There's no hiatus right now.
You gotta keep going.
Right. And so I wanted to do that. I wanted to give a whole layout, right, to help people, artists that are now looking at you, looking at a Hop, looking at other artists, right, that have been in the game, right, and I want them to understand that there's still pros and cons and the consistency of what you do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, certain artists be like, I ain't gonna tell a motherfucker that I had 30 people over this. Nah, I ain't gonna put that shit out there. You know what I mean?
Gotta do it.
But you're in the process of now looking, you know, to do another tour. You see what I'm saying?
But see, that's Canton, Ohio. Like, who goes to Canton, Ohio? Me going in front of 30 people that have nobody come to Canton, Ohio was probably the greatest thing that ever happened to them. It was probably the best thing that ever happened to them. Like, I stayed at autographed shirts. They wanted me to autograph shirts in Canton because nobody goes to Canton.
Right.
It's either Cleveland, Columbus, or Cincinnati. We're not even talking about Akron. We're not even talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I went there and it was 30 people. Like, but you got to think, Canton is not big, and a big artist is not going to Canton.
Right.
I decided, you know what? Let's
I'm gonna take a non-traditional approach. I'm gonna go against the grain.
I cut my performance fee in half to go there. Just so I can be with the people. It's all about the energy.
Hello?
And sometimes you got to do that. Now when I go back, it's going to be more.
It's going to be right.
But that's how...
It's strategic though.
But this is how a lot of artists built their brands. Wiz Khalifa, he used to perform in front of 3 people in every city. 3, 4, 5, 6 people in every city. And then he would put a record out, put more music out, and then keep going back on the road. From that 3 people would turn into 50 people. 50 people turn into 150 people. 150 people turn into 500 people. 500 people turn into 1,000 people. 1,000 people turn into 10,000.
So And I'm listening to this. You know what's amazing about this though, Factz, is that I'm listening to this, right? And for an artist, right, that's been out for some time, you can still see that there's a level of homework, right?
You gotta always, the game always improves. You know, when I was a mail clerk in 2001, and at that time I was like, you know what? I want to study computer science. This is before I met Hoffa. It was an A+ certification at that time. So I was studying. And as I'm studying, this guy comes up to me in the mailroom. He says, yo, you're studying this, but you know in a year, this is gonna be irrelevant. So you're gonna have to continuously study what you're doing. And you're gonna have to keep shelling out money to study what's going on. I didn't love computer science enough to study it and to elevate in that field.
Right.
Being in the hip hop world, being rappers, being MCs, being lyricists, I learned something every day.
Right.
And for me, personally, for me, if a nigga come to me, or if a person come to me, a girl, guy, whatever, and they hit me in the inbox, yo, how did you do it? I always respond back to them.
Right.
Because when I was coming up, when I was ascending, nobody was like, yo, don't do this, don't do that. I come from, I'm better than you, and I can show you I'm better than you, and I'm gonna tell you to your face, I'm better than you.
Right.
When I did the XXL cover, right?
Right.
Before I did the cover, I put out a track. It was called Sublime, and I was just dissing because I didn't care.
Right.
I didn't care. So I dissed mad niggas.
Right.
And this is, I don't even think I've ever told the story. So I go there, so a week before the shoot, Wale called me. Yo, why the fuck you talking about me on the record? All this crazy shit. I'm like, yo, you're not better than me. Right? Cuddy, who I did a record with before the shoot, he was like, yo, why you talking about me on the record? What's going on? Da, 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 da. All this crazy shit. I don't care. We go to the shoot, and you know, everybody knows the famous shoot. It was all of us.
Right.
I'm the odd one out because I didn't care. I wanted the competitive side of hip hop to be there. You know what I mean? So me, Wale, and Cuddy didn't talk. Me and everybody else was good. Everybody was like, you know, because they was from a specific mindset of like, Mick wasn't trying to diss us.
Right.
He was just showing that, you know what I'm saying, dissing is not really that serious. And he wanted to show that competitive side.
Right,
so
right.
like an Asher Roth, the Charles Hamilton, the Corey Guns.
Right.
They didn't care. It was like, yo, hot record. These other two guys, and I'm cool with both of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? They was just like, yo, what the fuck? They was going crazy. But me, that was just me at that time.
Right.
I was reckless and I didn't care. And that sometimes you just gotta be that way.
Right,
you gotta be like, look, this is what I do. If you think you dead nice, prove it. Show me. I want to see. I need to see this.
Right.
Show me. You know what I mean? And most times these guys are not bred that way. They're not built up to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, sometimes.
But do you think, from experiencing that, right, it got you to this point where you've experienced that, you know what it is, right, to be there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had highs and I've had lows.
Right. But what I'm saying, though, is that some people never got to that point where they've challenged, right, the art, the culture. You dig what I'm saying? So now when they're at a stage where they may not be there, they try to challenge, right, to open up a level of awareness, right? Do you think that it made you a better person now as an artist, right? And as just an overall person.
I had to do that stuff then.
Right.
To be who I am now.
Right.
Because I realized that other MCs don't want to do that. They don't want to put themselves in that place to where they could show a chink in the armor.
Right.
But to me, that defines an artist. When you could take the hit on the chin and be like, oh shit, oh I know next time not to play when this person comes through. You know what I mean? Like I'm always strapped.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just in case somebody gets crazy. Like, so many people, so many fans on tour. Yo, let me rap. I want to rap, and they start rapping, and then I'm in go mode.
Right.
I don't play those games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't do that. There's a